Right, you dafties, gather round and listen to this belter of a tale. This one's about the time wee Kevin decided he'd try his hand at cooking. Aye, you heard me right, cooking. Kevin woke up one morning with a bee in his bonnet, thinking he'd become the next Gordon Ramsay. Ah, if that loudmouth can dae it, so can I, he muttered, his head still fuzzy frae the night before. So off he went to the local cooking school, his apron looking like it had seen better days and a swagger and a step like he was something special. The first day was a disaster waiting to happen. Kevin, nae stranger to making a mess, was in over his head frae the start. The instructor, a posh git named Chef Pierre, announced they'd be making haggis. Kevin's face screwed up like he'd just sniffed a fart. Haggis, that shite? I canna stand the stuff, he grumbled. Pierre, nae paying any attention to Kevin's protests, began demonstrating how to prepare the traditional Scottish delicacy. Kevin, nae wanting to seem like a wimp, reluctantly got stuck in, but his heart wasn't in it. He started mixing the ingredients, grumbling under his breath, "This is pure torture, who the hell eats this muck?" As the other students worked away, Kevin's frustration grew. He thought he could jazz up the recipe a bit and chucked in a heap of random spices. "A bit of this, a bit of that, can't be worse than the usual crap," he muttered. Soon the kitchen was filled with the smell of burning spices and singed sheep's stomach. Kevin's concoction started bubbling and spitting like a demon possessed. "Ah, what the hell is that?" he shouted, backing away. Pierre came running over, his face turning white as a sheet. "What have you done, you idiot?" he bellowed. But it was too late. Kevin's haggis exploded with a force that sent a rain of sheep guts and fiery spices everywhere. Panic ensued. Students were screaming, slipping on bits of haggis, and Pierre was cursing in French, waving his arms like a madman. Kevin, covered in bits of his culinary disaster, made a run for it. "Sod this, I'm oot," he yelled, bolting for the door. In his mad dash, he managed to knock over a stack of pots and pans, sending them crashing down like a metal avalanche. The noise was deafening, and Kevin slipped on a greasy patch, sliding right into a table of fancy desserts, flattening them like a pancake. By the time he finally stumbled out the door, the kitchen was in ruins. Smoke billowed out the windows, and the sound of Pierre's furious ranting could be heard echoing down the street. Kevin, breathing heavy and looking like he'd been dragged through a hedge backwards, paused to catch his breath. "Well, that was a feckin' disaster," he muttered to himself. "Who needs cooking anyway? I'll stick to me takeaways." And so, Kevin's brief foray into the culinary world ended in chaos and calamity, a testament to his eternal knack for turning anything he touches into pure shite. Sláinte, you ball bags.